Hey everyone, as we go into break and kind of reset for that last final push of this year, I just want to share a couple of observations and kind of get you ready for kind of like what to expect and what to complete and what to like leave off and stuff like that. So you can see up here, just looking at this, we had two big assignments last quarter. That was Loser and Finding the Light. And so just looking at the final piece of those, the completion rate across all my classes for those was 24%. Right, so like not super high, and like the Loser was up to about 30% on its own, but then you factor in the Finding the Light, and that kind of dropped it down a little bit. So 24% of people finished it, right? Like not even talking about quality, just completion. And the last new assignment, which was that part 3 of that Loser, that last new assignment was from March 1st until March 24th, right? We didn't have any new assignments after that. Now, like I say that, but I also know that like there was chaos going on, like personally, like with in my life and in our classroom and stuff too. So like part of that accounts for that. So like I did extend it, but that is overly extended because of that as well. But then also right now, like the small little creative fun project we're doing before spring break, out of all of the journal entries possible at this point, which are like 2 entries in period 1 and 3 entries in period 2 and 4, right now we're at a 16% completion rate on those. So my kind of takeaways from those are the bullet points in yellow here. Extending the deadline didn't really up the completion that much, right? It upped it about 10% from about 15 from about 20% to 30%. Over like from Finding the Light to Loser. So just a little bit, and overall like still like that's super low. And I also wonder if like the creative journal, you have more choices. That's also doesn't seem to be resulting in a whole lot of completion. So my big challenges are the ones in blue here. Is when we come back, we're going to have more in-person students, right? Like those in-person students are going to be here 4 days a week. So we've got to be more structured, and we have to be kind of more together on this, because I can't leave them like just sitting here with nothing to do if we're kind of on our own independent schedules. When we're all online, that's a little bit easier to do. But now that we're kind of really in a full hybrid model when we come back, we're going to have to be a little more consistent and kind of stay together a little bit more. And more importantly, I want to leave you from English 1 with the skills that you're going to need to succeed in English 2, in 10th grade in general, and all that kind of good stuff. So because of that, we're going to kick it up a notch, right? So be prepared to do a little bit more. It'll be a little more structured, and everything will tie together. So we're going to have to go in order. It's going to be one big unit that all culminates, and that's what we're going to be doing when we get back. But it will be more kind of daily structured stuff. So be prepared to stay on top of that. And if you miss a day, you can't get onto the Zoom, right? Or you come into the Zoom 15 minutes late, that you're going to have to kind of, the onus is going to be on you to catch that up. So right now, the other thing I want to tell you about is this creative project, right? It was meant to end today, on Tuesday, right before spring break. If you have not filled out all of the creative journals, which is the vast majority of you, you may continue working on this over spring break. Remember, you are picking one creative project, and then after you spend your 20 or 30 minutes on it for the day, you're going to complete one of those creative journal entries. So you should have, if you're in period 1, you'll end up with 3 total journal entries. If you're in period 2 or 4, you will end up with 4 creative journal entries. You're just resubmitting that same assignment. Okay. If you want to share the finished product, you can, and that's available for extra points, but it is optional. But the journals are going in the gradebook. You can do the journals anytime up until April 10th, which is this the Saturday before we come back, right? So after that, I'm going to lock it, and it will not be available for makeup at any time, right? So like, I want you to get this off your plate and get you just some nice fresh points going into the quarter, and also have some fun with a creative project. All the resources for this are on the Canvas page. I'm going to pop over to it real fast, just so remember, it's in our module, and it's called the Short Creative Project. And in here, you have got all of your options and the requirements and stuff. Here is the assignment for the journal entries. Here's the optional assignment if you want to share the product. You can use this link right here. And then here are all of our resources, right? So a bunch of examples. I went through and I made all these examples, and I went through and I made walkthroughs of how to use this stuff. Okay, so like this is here for you. Please like have some fun with it and try and get these completed. Like it should not take you very much time, right? You should be able to do it in just a couple of days. Most people have already started, and most people have like started one entry. So it's just going to take you a couple of days, 20 minutes at a time. Then do your journal entry, put it away, and come back to it later on. And maybe you'll have to come up with something fun. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a nice break. Get rested. Get kind of ready in that mindset for what you need to kind of finish strong. Finish this year nice and strong. Thanks so much, guys, and I will see you after the break.